take the stage, bringing news from a different page. Truth served hot and bold and strong. Every week we sing along. Red, white, and true will stand tall. Echo the call loudest of all. With hearts of faith and liberty, together we find unity. Stories that make you think and pray. A light awaits at the end of day. Guided by the stars and stripes, through the stormiest of nights. Red, white, and true will stand tall. Echo the call loudest of all. With hearts of faith and liberty, together we find unity. When the world feels like a fight, hold your ground, stand for what's right. In the truth we'll find our way. Ed and Ronnie light the way. Red, white, and true we'll stand tall. Echo the call loudest of all. With hearts of faith and liberty, together we find unity. Red, white, and true will stand tall. Echo the call loudest of all. With hearts of faith and liberty, together we find unity. Together we find unity.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to a special edition of Red, White, and True. We do have some breaking news to go start out with. Pastor Ed will be here momentarily. He's having some computer issues, so you are stuck with me for the moment, and that's all right. So today we're going to cover a couple things. But as the breaking news, there is a shooting at Brown University in Rhode Island, Providence, Rhode Island. I've got a little bit of information here. Right now, 2 dead, 8 critical. I've got a couple of videos to start off with. They're holding a press conference right now.
Thanks for being with us here on Live Now from Fox. I'm your host, Christina Evans. We do have to bring you some breaking news. This comes from Providence, Rhode Island. Right now, we are hearing that there has been a shooting reported at Brown University. I do want to put up this live vantage point that we have there of some of the reaction that is now coming and then the police response there to the area. As you can see in front of you, there are multiple police cars and other ambulances as well as fire trucks now responding there to this scene. Again, this is in downtown Providence, Rhode Island at Brown University. So it is official that we have heard brief remarks there from the university as well. They put out a statement on their website. And so I want to show that for you here on the screen as this is, again, breaking news just now coming into our newsroom, saying that Brown University alert is that this is first urgent. There is an active shooter near Barris and Hawley Engineering. Lock your doors, silence phones, and stay hidden until further notice. Remember, run if you are in the affected location. Evacuate safely if you can. Hide If evacuation is not possible, take cover, fight. As a last resort, take action to protect yourself. Stay tuned for further safety information. And so this, again, is the statement that Brown University has since put out on their website. An alert sent out to all students there on campus as this reported active shooter is there near the engineering building on campus.
All right. Looks like Pastor Ed's joined us. How are we doing this evening, sir?
Well, I hope you can hear me. I've
I
been
can
using
hear you just fine.
all afternoon, all evening, I guess, not afternoon, and it worked fine. Go live, and I can't hear nothing. Well,
Bam, right there at the end, huh?
right there. So,
All right.
what did you do to start with? Did you?
Well, so I started out with the breaking news, and I showed the one video of the shooting there at in Providence, Rhode Island. I do have another video of the SWAT tactical response. It's pretty neat.
Right now, this is live. So, when we see what kind of does does not look like your standard police unit, Jamie? What are you noticing here with how these officers are dressed?
I mean, you're going to see the battle fatigues, if you will. You're going to see the heavy armor of body armor. These are more than likely SWAT team members from either the local police department or surrounding agencies. As we know, they're on scene to assist. But also you have an emergency response team. So it's essentially all hands on deck. And, you know, unfortunately, Austin, you and I've covered it right here on this network. We see so many of these active shooter situations. Grateful for law enforcement and their training, and also the purchases of these additional long guns and body armor to protect these men and women as they hunt for these active shooters. So, you know, my better guess is these are mostly SWAT team element, accompanied by some emergency response teams from other law enforcement agencies. From what that video looked like, they were probably transitioning to another building.
Let's see here. I just there we go. This is courtesy of Agenda Free TV and Steve Lookner. He's showing some helicopter shots. I just kind of wanted to show everybody. Just a second ago, he had it pretty zoomed in on some people inside these buildings here. There's a lot of activity going on.
Well, there is. It's one of those situations that we come across regularly that,
Unfortunately,
you have to be careful what you report. Even the president of the United States had to update his remarks.
yes.
Early on, it looked as if there were a couple of places that were reporting, including Brown University itself, that there had been somebody apprehended. That is not the case, and the president had to fix that as well. You know, you try to get information out, and you try to get it out quickly. And I know that the president was trying to calm things, and it's just when things are in that manner, there is no calm things.
Yeah, and unfortunately, this is something we see quite often. You know, we had the shooting of the two National Guard soldiers, and they came out, and the governor of the state, I believe, or the governor, or I'm sorry, the mayor of Washington D.C. come out and said, "Oh, they two dead." And that wasn't the case. You know, again, situations like this, news comes in, and rumors fly, and people talk, and people assume, and you know. It kind of sucks because you want to know what's going on right here and right now, but you just got to wait, I guess for the smoke to clear and for the emotions to calm down, and then gather the real truth and everything. But so I just wanted to show everybody that's what we've got, unfortunately, to start this snowy Saturday out with.
Well, unless you've already prayed, let's pray about the shooting. And let's pray that the Lord would watch over this night for, I don't know, when I have an issue early on, computer-wise, it always makes me a little bit leery for what will go on later. So Let's pray for those two things and about the snow.
Let's do it.
Father in heaven, I come to you tonight, and it's with heavy hearts and grieving that there's been loss of life at Brown University. Father, I pray that they capture the person, whether they've got him already or not. I pray that that part of the story will end quickly. I pray for the families of the two that have succumbed to their injuries, and the other 18 to 20 who have been injured. Father, I pray complete healing over their body. And in the name of Jesus, I pray a rebuke to Satan that he would leave our podcast and our live stream tonight alone and help us to be able to get through with what you've laid on our hearts. And Father, here in central Indiana, we've gotten quite a bit of snow today, and bad enough that there are many churches that are canceling services in the morning, and Old Union is one of those. So keep everyone safe wherever the snow is. I'm sure it's across a large portion of the Midwest. Keep us safe. Help us to be wise. And Father, help us tonight on here to say and do the right thing. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, let's see. While I was praying, my screen shifted. Hopefully that doesn't mean that. So am I here?
Yeah, you're here. I see you. I hear you. Everything.
All right. Well, that's a good deal.
Yeah.
Want to start with a happy story?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Well, today, 100 years ago today, Dick Van Dyke was born. And
That's right.
I don't know about everybody that's listening, but I am a huge Dick Van Dyke fan. Even if he is extremely liberal, I'm a huge Dick Van Dyke fan. So let's take a look at some scenes from his career.
Are you ready? Yes! Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dick Van Dyke.
Well, Dick Van Dyke was one of my idols growing up.
Oh, supercalifragilistic.
My friend Dick Van Dyke is an all-round performer.
He can sing, he can dance, he's a comedian, he can do pratfalls and be funny, and he's also very sexy.
He's always bubbling over.
He'd come in and then do a brilliant fall over an ottoman. How could you not be seduced by that?
In a lot of ways, he was like a cartoon come to life.
He was funny, even if he wasn't talking. I mean, he could have done the silent films.
Stan Laurel, Buster Keaton. I mean, talk about physical comedy. And Dick Van Dyke. I mean, he is in that category of performance.
Oh, mercy.
The power of Mary Tyler Moore and Dick Van Dyke together was something we just hadn't seen.
He was a very big part of my childhood. Dick Van Dyke was on my television when I was a little kid, and he was in the movies that I loved.
Dick is effortlessly funny.
Thank you.
There's no limit to his talent.
I know he's going to make me laugh, but he can also make you cry and think.
Reinventing yourself is just simply surviving in show business. So I think that he no doubt went from great opportunity to great opportunity. And if you have a great deal of talent, then you can do it.
He's perfect in every single way.
Ah, it's awesome.
Yeah,
100 years.
Scratch that at the end. 100 years old. I mean, that
100 years
actually
old.
yesterday, when your mom was at the doctor, a lady came up and was given her information to check in, and she said she was born in 1929, which put her, I'm thinking 96, 97 somewhere. And she looked healthy, and I mean, she had a cane, but she didn't look like she really needed the cane. And so that's a long time to live. And with Dick
Right?
Clark, or Dick Van Dyke, not Dick Clark, he's ancient too when he passed. Um, um, they they just Dick Clark or Dick Van Dyke just entertained so many people. As a matter of fact, we go to bed at night with the TV on. Most of the time, we set the timer to go off an hour or so after we go to sleep. And the last few weeks, at least half of the time, we were playing episodes of the Dick Van Dyke Show.
One of my earliest
And
memories from TV was watching the Dick Van Dyke Show.
and it's funny because different seasons he stumbles across the ottoman and then he bypasses it and makes a funny sound, and the season that we're on, like every other one, he does what he didn't do the time before. So it's
I got something here I'm going to pull up. I don't mean to interrupt you, but
I could tell you were doing
I know Mary's going to ask, and I know Mary was going to ask at some point. We've got some flight traffic here in Venezuela. Two F-18 Super Hornets, Rhino 52, Rhino 51. We have two Boeing 18G Growlers right here, Grizzly 1 and Grizzly 2, and a Advanced Hawkeye. It's basically a surveillance plane that's probably keeping an eye on these 4 fighter jets. Tracker 01. So I'm going to keep an eye on these, and I hope this isn't a sign of something going to happen here in Venezuela in the next coming hours, but we'll keep an eye on it.
Well, there is multiple stories that have to do with Dick Van Dyke. I got 3 things going on at once here. There's multiple stories going on about Venezuela. I got 2 different people talking to me about Dick Van Dyke, and maybe I just better pay attention to what I'm doing. And here, let's make your mama happy.
Oh, the bigger picture, yeah.
Because when mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy.
Ain't nobody happy. That is right.
So now I can put Dick Van Dyke out of my mind and not call Venezuela Dick Van Dyke or Dick Van Dyke Dick Clark, and we'll
Dick Venezuela Dyke.
Well, speaking of Venezuela, I don't know that we have mentioned. We'll go backwards tonight. We'll get into humor a little bit later, Ronnie.
Yeah, we actually have a prayer request from Miss Mary Bailey.
There you go. And Father, we just lift Mary and her family, Elijah and Cindy, and their young ones. Pray that you would help them tonight as their heat has gone out and cold is going to be brutal. Take care of them, Father, in Jesus' name. Amen. Well, I mentioned in my first prayer that church is canceled for in the morning. It's supposed to be 3 degrees at 10 o'clock. And do you have any idea how many inches of snow we got today?
I'm guessing we're on the upper side of at least 5 here.
And so early on, when it first started and for the first few hours, the roads were fairly good, but now they're totally snow covered, and it's best to be safe, smart. So
terrible.
Again, let's go backwards, and we'll do some humor later. It's hard to do humor right after you talked about a mass shooting.
That's right. That's right.
Um,
I do have a small smidgen of humor here. 15 seconds.
okay.
10-4, go ahead. 33, Kathleen would like to talk to an officer to update someone on how bad the snow is.
Is a 911 call to update officers on how bad the snow is. So thank you very much for placing that 911 call. We know how bad the snow is.
And they probably couldn't have told themselves since they're out driving in it. But
whatever. So yeah.
Well,
but we had to have a small laugh.
The Venezuela topic is going in many fronts. Of course, if you've not been hiding out and not watching any news, you know that the United States took a Venezuelan tanker and, well, let's just watch what they did.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh my. For those who get into wartime videos, real actual videos, that's right up there in the top tier of what you can go and find out. As far as seizing that tanker, the U.S. under President Donald Trump has seized a sanctioned oil tanker called the Skipper off the Venezuelan coast in what officials describe as a law enforcement action targeting an illicit shipping network that moves sanctioned Venezuelan crude and finances hostile regimes and terrorist groups. The ship was carrying roughly 1.8 million barrels of heavy crude, reportedly headed toward a Cuba-linked trade route. And the operation was carried out in international waters by U.S. agencies with no reported casualties. Caracas is denouncing it as piracy and promising to fight it in international bodies, while Washington signals more seizures could follow, which you can frame as Trump using American power against socialist regimes tied to Iran, Hezbollah, and the drug cartels. So, Ronnie, what'd you think?
So unfortunately, I saw a video earlier, and they're talking about how much crude oil and all that is around the world, and they're saying that Venezuela has a huge amount, and that's why the United States needs oil. It's the same. It's the same thing as when we went to war with Iraq and all that under George Bush, and I understand what the deal is. Donald Trump's trying to stop these drugs from getting into the United States. I wish every president that we had cared about the country enough to stop this flow. Nicolas Maduro's got to go. So, keep on taking them, man. Shoot those planes. Shoot those boats out and take the tankers. And I also saw earlier where we took a cargo ship, a cargo container that was coming from China to Venezuela. We boarded it and took the cargo. There's no word on what's on it, so I can't begin to tell you that. But hey, I'm all for it. Let's keep going.
Boy, that could explode right there. If it's carrying what I might think out loud and I won't, that would be really, really, really ugly. an ugly
Absolutely.
incident between us and China. And
Absolutely.
I hope it was humanitarian food part of process. You know, hope it wasn't something that would hurt people in the United States. Also, well, Ronnie made mention, of course, to the fishing boat. I mean, the drug runner boats.
The fishing boats, yes.
You, for those listening, if you go and you look on the internet, you will be amazed, or maybe not, of how many on the left continue with that all-out lie that those are fishing boats. It was
Yeah,
yesterday
I'm
or
going to
the
put
day
my faith
before.
in.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just going to say I'm going to put my faith in people who can't tell how many genders there are, can't tell which bathroom they want to use. You know, can't tell that George Floyd was not a hero. He was in fact a criminal. You know, but you know they know the difference between drug boats and fishing boats. Let's keep trusting them.
I must have watched a video that was giving people saying the fishing boat thing back to back to back, because I don't know, I saw 6 or 8 liberals that kept saying fishing boat. So there's that going on. There's the tanker going on, and then there is the opposition leader who many think should be leading Venezuela, Maria Corina Machado, a longtime opposition figure who won last year's opposing primary but was banned from running. So she's not been elected, but she wasn't allowed to run to be elected. That's kind of the way to make sure you don't win an election. They don't let you run.
Right. That doesn't make any
She
sense,
is-
but whatever. We'll let her wobble.
She has resurfaced on the global stage by secretly leaving Venezuela. It's believed to have been that the United States assisted in that, but she left Venezuela to receive the Nobel Peace Prize in Oslo, Norway. Her daughter actually received the award for her, and she was in a hotel, on a balcony of a hotel, and was intentionally spotted from there. From Norway, she is vowing that Nicolas Maduro will leave power, calling for a peaceful, orderly transition, and openly thanking Trump for decisive support as the U.S. steps up military and sanctions and the pressures on that nation in the Caribbean. She is positioning herself as a pro-democracy, anti-socialist leader, and explicitly tying Venezuela's crisis to hemispheric security, which fits well with a Christian narrative and a conservative narrative, with the emphasis on religious liberty, resisting Marxism, and supporting persecuted folks in Latin America. So, what's your thoughts on Miss Machado?
You know, honestly, other than that, I haven't heard much else about her, so I'm not going to red, white, and assume too much. I appreciate the fact that she appreciates Donald Trump, and I appreciate the fact that she agrees also that Nicolas Maduro's got to go. Here's hoping that she does the right thing.
And Trump is fond of her. He speaks highly of her when he talks.
Well, if Trump likes her, then I do.
Yeah. Well, go with your big story of the night.
Well,
Not
the only
sure.
other thing I've got some Christmas stuff. I've got Trump actually talking about Venezuela. So Peter Doocy in the Oval Office asked Donald Trump, I believe it's about the oil tanker.
And with Venezuela, now that we've seized this tanker, is the campaign against Venezuela still just about drugs, or is it now also about oil?
Well, it's about a lot of things, but one of the things it's about is the fact that they've allowed millions of people to come into our country from their prisons, from gangs, from drug dealers, and from mental institutions, probably proportionately more than anybody else. They came in from many countries. We're getting them out. We had 11,888 murderers come into our country. Many of them are from Venezuela. We had thousands of Tren de Aragua, the gang, come in from, which they say is the most violent gang. I don't know. MS-13 is pretty bad, but Tren de Aragua, they say, is the most violent gang. That comes from the prisons of Venezuela. It came out of the prisons of Venezuela. So it has to do with a lot of things. They've treated us badly, and I guess now we're not treating them so good.
We're not treating them so good.
Right. That's probably one of the nicer things he said about him so far. Most of the time, it's like, oh, you just want to kill him dead. So, but on what is today? Saturday. So Tuesday, we talked about Indiana redistricting and turning the whole state red and everything. That's a no-go. It got shot down, and of course the liberal media took it and ran with it.
We have some news to tell you about. The Indiana State Senate moments ago decided not to bow to Donald Trump and redraw their state's congressional districts as he wanted them to. In a vote of 19-31, for reference, there are 50 members of the Senate, 40 Republicans, 10 Democrats. It is a sharp rebuke of Donald Trump, who pushed for Indiana to redraw its congressional map so that Republicans would gain 2 more seats in the House of Representatives when Democrats only need 3 to flip the House. J.D. Vance even visited the state twice on this issue. Lawmakers also faced swattings and pipe bomb threats and unsolicited pizza deliveries. As for Donald Trump, he continued his pressure campaign as late as last night, threatening Senate leader Roderick Bray, a Republican who does not support redistricting, with a primary challenge. Looks like that did not work. Bray was a no.
Indiana, just a few moments ago, the Senate there rejected the congressional maps to redistrict in that state. A number of Republicans voted against that redistricting effort. You have spent a lot of time talking about this. The Vice President traveled to Indiana. What's your reaction?
Well, we won every other state. That's the only state. It's funny because I won Indiana all 3 times by a landslide. And I wasn't working on it very hard. Would have been nice. I think we would have picked up 2 seats if we did that. You had one gentleman, the head of the Senate, I guess, Bray, whatever his name is. I heard he was against it. He'll probably lose his next primary, whenever that is. I hope he does, but because he's done a tremendous disservice.
So there we have it. We lost the redistricting, but Indiana is going to remain red. It's Marion County, southern Chicago. They don't bother me. Indiana is always going to be red. So.
Well, and that was the purpose for redistricting. Instead of having those 2 areas solely representing that district, they were going to move those to where those were split across other districts. And, first of all, there's no guarantee that we would have gained 2 seats there. There's still an election that would need to take place to gain those 2 seats. Now, you can look at it and you can say that more than likely it would, and it probably would have. And my thoughts on it is that I'm not a fan of gerrymandering, which is basically what was going on there.
Yeah, for sure.
But liberals have done this for years and years and years and gotten away with it. As a matter of fact, they're getting away with it in California as we speak. They're working toward that, which would offset what Texas had done. But it's not politics as usual anymore. And to say that I'm not a fan of gerrymandering is 100% accurate, but we have to fight the left with everything we've got. And you mentioned earlier, you said it in jest, but I know you were serious when you said about we'd take the advice of people who don't know what bathroom to use, and that there's only two genders, and that you can change from a male to a female and vice versa. That's who we want to listen to. And of course, it's not who we want to listen to. And it is who we have to listen to when they hold as much power as they do. I'm disappointed that Indiana took that. I'm not disappointed in the fact that gerrymandering didn't work. I wish it didn't work anywhere. I wish there was a way to make the congressional districts fair for everybody. And may the best man win, or the best candidate win. So, you got more deep thoughts on that?
No, I just find it funny how the left can complain about it when the right tries to do it, but it's okay for them to do it. Like you said, they're trying to do it in California, Texas, Indiana. But I'm not a fan of it. Redrawing the lines, I think everybody should have an equal say. The right needs the left. The left needs the right. Men need women. Women need men. We just need to make it fair, pretty much.
Well, and like so many topics, Ronnie, it's always for them what's good for them, not what's good for the country.
Yeah, rules for thee, but not for me. But that's how they roll. But,
and they get so excited when their side wins something like that. I've seen Facebook posts from family members that are liberal. That they were ecstatic. You would have thought that they won the second Civil War. Is there a second Civil War?
Well, there may be one. But at least our side knows how to use pointy shooties, and the other side can't figure out which bathroom they're going to go into, and which color to make their hair, and
they don't fight fair either. They go into universities and shoot 20 people.
Right. Or they go into a Catholic school and shoot up people, or but it's the gun's fault. It's totally 100% the gun's fault.
Well, I heard you say earlier
I gotta get off this
that you had your segment tonight ready.
Did we lose you?
So,
or is it my computer?
I can hear you.
Okay, to me it looks like you're lagging pretty bad, but maybe it's just my computer. You heard I
heard that you have a segment to go over tonight, and
I do. I have the video saved, but I don't have exactly what I want to say quite yet. It's going to take a little bit of time, so I really want to cover that on Monday. But
okay,
I made a little preview about it last night on Facebook. We had talked a couple times about Christian music being metal and hard music, and there's a band called Korn. I grew up listening to Korn. They're phenomenal. Their guitarist gave his life to Christ, and yesterday their bass player gave his life to Christ, and man, that one touched my heart. I screenshot it. I jumped on Facebook, and I wanted to get it out there. But Monday I'll have more information. We'll play some music. We'll have a good time. So we'll get on that on Monday.
Yeah, your mom said what I was thinking earlier. Pew pew.
I love it.
Her and I finish each other's thoughts way more than is normal, I think. So, well, I see you have.
I do have a story. Well, I've got a story I wanted to jump on real quick. This is extremely weird. So, a family, their son had passed, and they went to the funeral home to get the clothes. And the funeral home actually gave the family the guy's brain. I don't know if I'll play all of it, but I'll play a little bit.
How do you give a father his son's brains and not a bag of clothing? Anita. 27-year-old Alexander Pignon passed away on May 19th of this year. His family asked me not to report the cause or manner of death. They are struggling with their loss and with their experience at the Lima Family Erickson Memorial Chapel on Willow Street in San Jose.
They wanted to do what's right for their son, and they wanted to have a dignified farewell for him.
Samer Habas filed a lawsuit for the family that says they agreed to pay Lima more than $10,000 for a full-service memorial tribute package. They also wanted to give nicer clothes for Alex to wear during the burial service and asked the funeral director to return what he was wearing at the time of death. The lawsuit says Anita Singh handed Alex's father a bag. He went home to put it straight into the laundry and out tumbled brain material into the washing machine.
To them at that point, they had no idea that it was their son's brain that was in the washing machine. They didn't know if it was mixed up with somebody else's brain, whether it was their son's. They had not a single idea.
Alex's father scooped out the brain, put it back in the bag, and returned it to Anita Singh at the funeral home.
Miss Singh took the bag back from him, never disclosed whose brain it was, never gave information, no apologies, and said, I'll take that from here.
The next day, Alex was buried at Oak Hill Memorial Cemetery. Weeks later, the lawsuit says, a whistleblower who works at the funeral home came forward to confirm it was Alex's brain in that bag, and that after the mix-up, funeral director Anita Singh placed it in a box and left it outside in the funeral home's courtyard for 2.5 months. Finally, an employee spotted the box with the bag inside and became overwhelmed with the smell of a rotting human brain. The Lima Family Funeral Home referred me to its owner, Service Corporation International, or SCI, the largest.
There they get into some legal stuff. But can you believe that may this young man rest in peace and his family find peace, and it's my sincere wish that he's in eternal bliss with his heavenly Father. But to be handed his brain, I don't know how that mix-up got there. That story just irked me, and I wanted to get it out there to anybody that didn't know that.
Well, that is wrong in so many ways. Mistakes happen. I don't see how you make or let that mistake happen.
Absolutely.
Do they keep the brains next to the clothes, or do they remove brains and sell them on the black market? I
don't know. It's so infuriating that how can you make that kind of a mistake?
Well, and you think 2 months, and the whistleblower talked about how bad it smelled. You would have thought it would have started smelling really bad before 2 months, and that somebody would have noticed.
Well, what he said is they brought the brain back, and I keep going to push up my glasses, and I put my contacts in a few hours ago, and it's driving me insane. But they said they brought the brain back, and they put it in a box and set it outside in the courtyard for some reason. That makes no sense.
Yeah,
I really hope it's
box. Let's send a random box out to the courtyard. Oh, by the way, it just happens to have a brain in it.
Yeah.
Don't
worry about that box in the corner. What's in the box?
Said no one ever in a legitimate business.
Right. So my heartfelt feelings go out for this family, and I really hope that they get this corrected. Wow.
Well,
wow.
Trevor said that you should log out and log back in. So
am I lagging?
You must be. So I'll take a couple of topics while you're gone.
Okay, go ahead. I'll be back.
We'll see you soon.
I'll be back.
I'll be back. So we got the Indiana redistricting. We got 2 on Venezuela. We got Dick Van Dyke. I had a couple of more, and that tab closed. So let's play a commercial.
Ed and Ronnie. Ed and
In these difficult times, even the people of New York, after experiencing the changes brought on by socialism, are eager to know when Ed and Ronnie's next live stream will be. Make sure to follow Ed and Ronnie on social media so you're always in the know.
Red, White, and True with Ed and Ronnie will be right back.
Folks, are the headlines getting you heated? Are your dinners a battlefield? Hugging trees a little too hard? Forget the drama. One spoonful should do it. Hey, that's better. Ronnie's Liberal Tonic, calm in a bottle for only $9.99.
Folks, stress over the news? Let me show you Ronnie's Liberal Tonic. One spoonful is all it takes.
Watch what happens.
Instant calm, instant smiles.
One spoonful does it.
And it tastes like sweet peace of mind.
You bet it does.
Ronnie's Liberal Tonic, just one spoonful does it.
Hey friends, get ready for a miracle in a bottle. Pastor Ed Boston's anti-woke tablets.
What?
One tiny tablet and the headlines just can't rattle you anymore. See that? Instant calm. One tablet. Total peace of mind.
Well, don't you wish everything that was AI had a disclaimer at the end of it, or maybe at the beginning of it, that lets you know in advance that it's AI? Ronnie, you're back. You're like
I'm
perfect
back.
timing.
Hopefully I'm not laggy or anything else.
Well, the two other topics that I have listed. One is you said that we could take an entire live stream to discuss the Erica Kirk and Candace Owens situation. You didn't mean that we were going to, just that it would take that length of time. Let me read you what the latest is on that. Erica Kirk has publicly asked people, including Candace Owens, to stop spreading elaborate conspiracy theories about her husband, Charlie Kirk's assassination, calling the rumors a mind virus, and saying she simply wants to grieve and tell the truth about his life and work. Owens has responded with harsh commentary on her show, suggesting Erica is suspect and coining the Meghan Markle syndrome, while Nick Fuentes has piled on from the outside, mocking Erica and threatening to blow a hole in Owens' credibility over her claims. For a Christian conservative point of view, this is a place to stress biblical cautions about bearing false witness, exploiting tragedy for clicks, and the need for discernment, even with voices on our side. Now, Erica came out, Ronnie, and was on the daytime, the new time Fox show. Outnumbered, is that what it was?
I believe so.
And you saw a different side of Erica Kirk. And I don't know how we've not
The whole
seen
world
that
saw a
side
different
yet.
side of Erica Kirk.
So
yeah, the whole
what do
world
you
saw a
think?
different side of her, and you know, the videos that I saw were all mocking her. Of course, you know there was that's the way it's always going to be. There's way more mocking her than there was actually being concerned for her. Everybody's been teasing Erica or giving her a hard time because of the way she grieves, and she just, you know, she might grieve differently. I don't know. Let her be her. There are tons of conspiracy theories. I mean, tons of how Charlie Kirk was assassinated, how she's dealing with it. I don't know. I've been taking it all in. I mean, Charlie's been gone for 3 months now. I'm wearing my freedom shirt today. I personally don't care that much for Erica Kirk. there's just something there. Maybe I've been fed too much crap online. But she shot daggers on that show. She went from laughing to staring that woman down. I've heard different things that from she's possessed by a demon. All the way, from she meant it to she's possessed by a demon. I don't know. I'm still gathering everything on her. I'm still, this whole thing about Candace Owens, though. Candace Owens is, and I posted it in our group chat with Trevor and you and me, and how many people she's basically accused, and it's a pretty impressive list. And maybe we need to have a couple hours where we just sit down and cuss and discuss her, but I don't know.
Well, this doesn't happen too often, but I totally disagree with you on Erica. I
Yeah.
think I think some of the things I'm going to say you believe as well, but I think it's totally despicable that she has had to mourn and grieve in public as a pastor who does a lot of funerals. As a matter of fact, I could have done one this past Monday, and I could have done one this coming Monday, and my an error on my part means I didn't get to do either one of them. But one of the things that I tell families in that time is that they need to let each other grieve in the way that they need to grieve. Because you and I, your mother, we may all have the same person that we're grieving about. Let's just look at your grandmother that just passed.
Yeah.
We can all grieve differently, and not one of us be wrong about what we're doing. And
yeah, absolutely.
And so the grieving part. Here's the thing about Candace Owens that if somebody knows differently should tell me, but I've never seen any proof of accuracy on the claims she makes. She just throws them out there.
I haven't either. Yeah.
I seen one earlier. It was it wasn't this person's post, but their comment on a post was about all of the different people that is all of the different ways that people have been saying there's nothing to back them up. The guy said he got a text message from Charlie the day before and said they're gonna kill me. Erica said in that interview this week that she was turning everything that came in over to the authorities. And I'm thinking the people that are, bashing her and everything, it's the police's job to investigate that murder, that assassination.
Yeah, not hers.
It's not her job. And when
not Candace Owens.
They should do what she says they're doing, and that is turning it over to police. That they're not experts in tracking down assassins, murderers. They're experts in the field of youth, as in college age people. They're experts in constitutional living. They are experts in Christian living. They're experts at debating, not investigating people for murder. Now, the other thing that seems to be coming up fairly often is that people are talking about the money that TPUSA is raking in.
Yeah.
Let's just go out on a limb here and say that TPUSA would much rather have Charlie Kirk back than all the millions of dollars that have come in.
I'm confident to say that Erica Kirk would rather have Charlie Kirk back than all the money. I mean,
no doubt in either one of our minds about that. And so And I think this was addressed by Erica talking about how much money Candace Owens brings in, talking about all
Oh,
of
yeah.
these conspiracy theories and all. Nobody sees Candace saying, "I'll take this on pro bono." No,
Of course not. Of course not.
Of course not, because that's where her money is coming from right now. And if she were to stop, she'd have to come up with a new way out there topic. I'm no fan of the French president Macron and his significant other, but according to Candace, his significant other is a man who has decided that he wants to be a she. I have no clue if that's accurate.
There's no real proof.
I'm not sure I even want to go there on that.
Yeah.
The proof that this woman is really a man.
So
I just
let me backtrack a little bit here where I said I don't personally care for Erica Kirk too much. So within, what was it, a week, they had this massive memorial service. There was no church funeral, which, okay, I guess. There has been no given burial plot. I'm sure. I don't know. I don't know if this is her or if this is Charlie's wishes, or if this is somebody else's. But that's really kind of robbing anybody who wishes to go mourn at Charlie's grave. There was no autopsy released. There's been no death certificate released. And I don't know. I want to say it's Erica that's doing this, and they're very private people. Obviously, they hide their children's faces. You see the backsides of their children all the time. Nobody even knows their children's names. I don't know. I guess the reason I don't care for her much because I just wish she would be more open and honest with everybody. And I get it. I guess I get it. I mean, her husband was murdered in cold blood. Even with the security measures they took and everything, I just wish that there was more. I don't know. I wish there was, here's Charlie's burial plot. Here's where he's buried. That, every celebrity, every president, everybody, has a burial plot, and people can go there and mourn. And I guess I just kind of wish that there would be that kind of openness from her on it. But I really appreciate the fact that she forgave her husband's killer. That to me showed that she's a stand-up person. I don't know if I'd be so forgiving, but I don't
now
know.
see this example of you and I not 100% agreeing, I think is a good thing. That I hope you don't hate me for my opinion. I know I don't hate you for your opinion.
No.
And isn't that how things should go? You should
Absolutely.
feel confident enough to give your opinion. I should feel confident enough to give my opinion. And we go on to the next topic. John Cena is my next topic. We'll go right on to John Cena, and
I'm good with that.
we will like each other. I mean, you offered me free pizza today. What better can you do for
Right.
for a pastor? Pastor's favorite,
Right.
2 favorite 4-letter F words are free
Free
food.
food. That's
Free
right.
food. And so, I just wanted to make that point. It's okay to disagree. On the main part of that story, we agree.
Yeah.
You would like a little more openness and transparency. I think
Transparency.
that would-
That's the word. I just couldn't think of it.
that's not a bad thing to want. And so, don't you wish that you and I and our little opposite thinking on this, which really isn't opposite thinking, would be the example for liberals to do with us Christians?
How much better would this world be if people could have common discourse like this? You agree with me, I agree with you, but when we get off here, I'm going to go down there and say hi to you.
Versus me saying, get down and get out.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. So what kind of world would this be if everybody could have this kind of disagreement? I'm not completely so shut off to the fact that I might not change my opinion. I might not change how I think or how I feel. I don't think you are either. But that's how diverse and separated everybody is now. If you're not blue, if you're not LGBTQ, if you're not, I hate you. Or if you're not MAGA, if you're not red, I hate you. And I hate how separate this country is now because of that. I wish everybody could sit down and have these kind of discourses and then move on to the next topic. Like the next topic, you said John Cena. Personally, I'm not a fan of wrestling, but I'm going to sit here and pay attention to you. So,
Thank you.
I like how we can do this.
Well, and the other thing about it is, you explained what you thought. I explained my side, and so we can see what each other's point of view is. It's not just I hate you because you disagreed with me. I now understand what parts of that topic that you aren't fond of.
Yeah.
You understand more, hopefully, about the grieving process because is doing things as much as I do. I mean, I see all kind of things in the grieving process. And not only do we grieve differently, but the order in which we grieve things is differently. Some people get mad right off. Some people are so sad that they can't get out of bed the next day. And you don't know when that's going to change and so many different things. But along with grief comes a time when one of your favorite sports figures, athletes, whatever, decides to retire. And tonight is the night that John Cena will be doing his very last match. And I know some people would say, yeah, right, he'll be back next year sometime. Tonight is his official retirement match. They're promoting tonight as that being the final match, headlining Saturday night's main event, which is taking place at the Capital One Arena after a year-long farewell tour and a career that includes a record 17 world titles. Fellow wrestlers, sports teams, and WWE itself have been running tributes, framing him as a workhorse, never give up figure whose character work has been PG family friendly for most of his run on all of those years, which you can contrast with the darker, more sinister tone of a lot of the current entertainment, not just in the world of wrestling. John Cena holds the record, and I don't have the numbers with this, but I'm confident in saying this and being red, white, and true, holds the record for doing the most Make-A-Wish instances.
Wow.
I read a story online today, a guy that I know, known in the wrestling business. He's not WWE, but he is a promoter here in Indiana, a good guy, learned wrestling from the ground up, said that, I forget what year it was. My friend was in the military, so he was dressed in his fatigues at the wrestling match. John Cena saw him as he was going through the crowd after things were over and stopped greeting the fans that were close to him, went straight over to my friend in uniform, took off one of the headbands that he wears on his bicep, signed it and handed it to him, and then went and back to greeting the flag or the crowd, not the flag. So, I mean,
Now, I
know
hear The Rock is going to be there. Is that correct?
Well, I don't think officially he's been listed as being there, but in the wrestling world, secrets are not very well kept, and I believe that they're reporting that he might be there, which would be very
I am a big fan
appropriate.
of The Rock. I am a big fan of his. Now, every movie he's been in, especially my favorite movie, Walking Tall, big fan of The Rock. He's a good guy.
That was a good movie right there.
Yeah, love that movie. My favorite movie.
So what else do you have that we need to
to cover?
Well, I've got some Christmas stuff here.
Yes, and we're
12
getting
days of
closer by the day.
We are, and this is the 12 days of MAGA Christmas. I thought was kind of funny. I don't like the source, but I thought it was kind of fun.
On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me.
12 guys with high IQs, 11,000 murderers, tens of millions of illegal aliens, 900 rallies, 8 wars I ended, 7-foot guy playing basketball with the women, 6 known gang members, 5 burgers, please. Who the hell orders 5 burgers? 4 indictments, more than Al Capone. 3 great Abrahamic face. 2 impeachments over nothing, over a phone call that was perfect. And the bird graveyard under the window.
MAGA Christmas, everyone.
Yeah,
We
I don't
can
care
go
for the
back
source,
to-
but I thought it was funny.
Well, we can go back to the agreeing. I can say that that's hilarious, regardless of whose show that was on.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
like him. You don't like him, but we both just laughed at that because that's funny.
Yeah. As soon as I saw that, I was not wanting to play it, but because of who it came from. But I thought it was too good to pass up. So, the White House also came out with their naughty list for this year.
You better watch out, you better not cry, you better not pout, I am telling you why. 'Cause Santa Claus is coming to town. Oh, let's go.
And I know that was kind of hard to see because it was kind of hard to see on my computer, but the naughty list was the New York Post and CBS News and ABC and MSN and then it said better luck next year. So guess they're
The White
getting
House just keeps on bringing out good videos.
Right.
If we keep playing them, we're going to get banned by not any of the censors on here. We're going to get banned by the people that make the music. They get all tore up when Trump. Well, who was the latest? Sabrina Carpenter? Was that who the latest was that got uptight about the music?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh,
ICE
your
put
mom.
out their Christmas video as well. I got that real quick.
Are you an illegal alien in the United States? Are you looking for the perfect holiday gift for your family? Then DHS has the best holiday deal of your life. It's the CBP Home app. It's free. It's fast. Just download the CBP Home app and fill out your information. We'll take care of your travel arrangements, and once you're home, you'll receive a $1,000 stipend. So don't delay. Join the 2 million illegal aliens who have already left. Download the CBP Home app today and get home for the holidays.
That's right. Get home for the holidays. I don't agree with the $1,000 stipend, but
Well, I'm not sure I do either, but they don't get that reported on. I mean, 2,000 is quite a few, and there are a lot of places where $2,000 is quite a hefty amount of, or $1,000 is a hefty amount of money.
Spunky's over here burying Christmas ornaments off of the tree in my blankets.
Well,
I don't know why.
I'll just leave that alone because I was going to make a very inappropriate joke about what you would find in your bed, and so
No,
we'll just let you mention something about what your mom said here.
My Christmas present? You mean the gift of color? Bam! With these fantastic little glasses given to me by my mom and dad, I can see color. A lot of people don't know that I'm colorblind. People that do know often say, "What color is that? What color is my car? What color is this?" And it gets a little old and aggravating. But now I can tell you what color they are because I can see colors. So
there you
thank
go.
you very much. I can't even begin to describe. They're fashionable too. I can't even begin to describe the feeling I had yesterday. I put them on and I stood there and looked at everything there in the dining room, and then I'm like, I got to go outside. And I went outside and I stared at grass. I told Mom I felt so goofy because I stared at grass, but I could see it, which was weird. It just wasn't gray. Um, I was on the clock. I had got a call out. I had to leave, and I was wearing my glasses, so I had to put these on over top of my glasses. And they look kind of goofy. I put my contacts on today so I could watch some TV with actual color. But yeah, I driving down the road, and it's like, huh, stop sign is red, and then the street signs, 14th and Pearl, that's green. I, I I I stopped in the middle of the road, and I had to call my mom because did you know bricks on houses are different colors? I honestly didn't. I'm 41 years old. I never saw that until yesterday. So yes, I don't even know where to begin to say thank you. I'm still blown away. They are right here. They're next to me all the time. I'm not letting these things go, and I can't wait. I got up this morning early. I wanted to watch the sunrise, but it was gray. Even with these on, it was gray. But yeah, so thank you very much. I got the gift of color. It's kind of a weird thing to say, I guess.
It is kind of
I
a
don't know
weird
who else
thing
is.
to say.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I don't know. It's so hard to describe. It's like this is what you guys see all the time because I'm 41. I've never seen it.
and
So,
um, something that you probably won't take for granted in the future.
no, no. Oh my goodness, no. Oh yeah. I just can't wait to get out to the woods. Maybe not when there's. You okay, Spunk? Okay. Half a foot of snow on the ground, and everything's just gray or white. But I can't wait. I can't wait to see the sunrise or the sunset. Now I can see bright colors, but like even yesterday, it was still kind of cloudy, but it was bright enough, and the colors in the sky were just something I'd never seen before. So I just can't wait. I'm so excited.
Well,
I've been watching TV today with them on.
short time that I was in the dining room with you when you got them, um, the look on your face, the look of, I don't even really know how to describe it. Look of, wow, that's not even close to, but the look of almost confusion that you held up some uh, Christmas decoration that had green in
Yeah.
it. You said that's green.
Yeah.
Those bulbs, they're red, and it was a very heartwarming thing. And I know your mom posted something on Facebook, and
Yeah.
last
Yeah.
night at the Christmas party that we were at, several people mentioned how touched they were on that post that she had made, and how happy they were for you that
Yeah.
took place.
It's so amazing just to even look at a Christmas tree, and it's like, wow, like I was saying, I was driving to that call, and I was so distracted because the stop sign's red, and that house, the bricks are different colors, and
Well, I think anything we have left, unless you've got something really urgent. I know you had some
no,
Somalia stuff. That'll
yeah,
hold
we'll
till
cover that on
Monday.
Monday. Yeah, we'll cover that on
And,
Monday.
and so that everybody knows, we are still debating on what schedule to follow. Uh, Starting next week, we'll be here Monday for sure, and then but we together we're having a difficult time giving up our Tuesday time slot, even though it makes the most sense to give it up.
Yeah, it's like
The
breaking up with a girlfriend or something just because we've been on Tuesdays ever since the beginning.
the schedule that makes the most sense is Monday, Wednesday, and then either Friday or Saturday for the third one, depending upon our schedules. That makes the most sense, and probably what we'll end up doing, because we want to do the right thing, and sometimes giving up your preference is what the right thing to do is. So we would love to hear any comments back from you folks on what you think. We're trying to get away from this big gap in between Tuesday and either Friday or Saturday, because we had a lot of real important things to cover. And once again, our breaking news tonight about the shooting at Brown University. Please keep that in your prayers. And
real quick before
as
we
Ronnie
get
looks
off
at that
here.
real quick, let me say a prayer again for them, and Ronnie can. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, they're just still doing the helicopter shot. There's no new information. 2 people killed, 8 in critical but stable condition. The suspect, a male dressed in black, is not in custody.
Well, you got to pray for the fear that is going on there. 20 of their people have been shot, and the guy that did it's still running around somewhere. I mean, all those buildings, and being the weekend, there's a lot of buildings that probably aren't being used right now. I know they've told them to shelter in place, to hide, to turn their phones down, to where the phone ringing wouldn't give away their position. And so we'll pray, then Ronnie will tell us good night, and we will get out of here. Father in heaven, I thank you for the opportunity to come to you when we have situations going on like we do right now at Brown University. I pray for the families of the 2 that have been taken from them, for the 8 that are in critical condition. I thank you that they're stable, but critical still means that they're going to have a long recovery without your intervention, Father. For all 20 that have been injured, healing over their body, the families of all of those involved, and Father, all the students there at Brown University, keep them safe, give them peace and comfort, and Father, let justice be done. Thank you for helping us tonight and being there with us. In Jesus' name, amen. Say goodnight, Ronnie.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for being here. We will keep you updated if we have any new information. We'll be back on Monday, and thank you so much.
And until we see you again, go out and do the right thing.
Thank you for joining us for today's live stream. This has been a presentation of Ed Boston Media,